Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of AEW Weekly Wrap Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to talk about Dark Elevation, Dark Dynamite, and previews for tonight's Rampage about the belts. Also, next week's Dynamite and Dark Elevation. But before we get on all that, I just want to give some quick news there from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom. We saw Kenny Omega defeat Will Ospreay to win the IWGP United States title for the second time. Then he goes on to January 5th at New Year's Dash as he teams up with the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada to defeat Jeff Cobb and Aaron Henare of United Empire. Guys, if you haven't had time yet, go check out that Ospreay Omega match from Wrestle King this past Wednesday. We also had FTR drop the IWGP Tag Team titles to the 2022 World Tag League winners, Bishamon, also at Wrestle Kingdom. That was also a great match. I recommend going check out that match as well. But let's get on to the reviews here as we got Dark Elevation from January 2nd, our first Dark Elevation of 2023. Opening contest, Hikaru Shida goes well with Taira Rosami. I'm not 100% sure if I said that right, so I do apologize if that was wrong. Rosami asks for a test string to kick the match off. Then she steps on Shida's foot. Shida catches a kick and then hits a slap. Taira avoids the 10 punch and then eats a kick, then avoids a draw kick. She hits some kicks and then a hip attack. Shida comes back with a 10 punch and then a meteor off the top. Taira counters the Falcon Arrow with a small patch. I got a 2 count. Shida hits a Slime Diva. I got a 2 count. And then followed by that Katana to get the win in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Good back and forth match between Shida, a little squash match there. Before the next match, Mark Sterling talks to the next match because Tony Nese isn't sweating after 1,000 setups. And Josh Woods apparently wrestled 2 guys in the back. He thinks the fat people of Denver came get up a flight of stairs. He wants the best to cover, and they had the offer, but apparently all they got was his team. So the second match, the first 8 athletes, that's Josh Woods, Tony, like I said, go against the Pillars of Destiny. That's Hunter Gray and Paul Titan. Gray and Nese starts off the match with a lockup. And Tony Nese pauses the pose. Then they go into another lockup. Nese hits a side headlock. But Gray takes him to the mat. Nese hits some strikes, hip toss. Then he gets rope break before he strikes as Josh Woods takes a cheap shot. Woods gets in the ring, hits a leg capture back suplex. Nese gets back and takes control of the match. Woods hits a back body drop, and then Paul Titan gets the tag. Titan with some hip butts, followed by boot. Woods gets back in the ring and kicks Titan right in the head. Woods connects with a butterfly suplex, goes for the cover, but Gray breaks up the pin. Nese with the stun gun, that is pretty much a flapjack to the ropes. Josh Woods hits a release German suplex on the Gray. Back kick from Nese, followed by knee, and then followed by the angle slam neck breaker. Gets the win. 4 minutes and 28 seconds. It was another pretty much good little match. Well, I couldn't really say squash, but it's just a little preview for Tony Nese's match on Bryan Danielson on Dynamite. The third match, some tag team match, we got the Firms, Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy goes against Manny Lemons and Adaba. I'm not 100% sure if I even said that right. Cassidy and Lemons starts the match off. They hit the ropes. Cassidy with a neck breaker and some arm drags and neck breaker. Matt Hardy takes in, do some double team offense. Hardy tries to go for a quarter offense, but he misses a charge. Hits the corner. Lemons gets some strikes in before taking Intaba. Hardy hits some elbows to him. Lemons gets a take back in. He misses the elbow. Cassie gets in. He hits a springboard cross body, followed by running strikes and some punches in the corner. Adaba distracts Cassie and Lemons fights free. Adaba takes in and they isolate Isaiah Cassie with some double teamwork. But Cassie fights back, has a jumping flatliner, and Hardy gets a take back in. Hits a side effect on Adaba. Goes for the cover, but Lemons breaks it up. Cassie takes out Lemons. They do the poetry motion that sends Lemons out of the ring. Hardy with a middle rope eagle sweat, or aka the Splash Mountain. Cassie goes to the top rope, hits a Swanton Bomb, and gets the win for the Firm at 4 minutes and 24 seconds. So match number 4, Rhea Shafir goes on with Lilith Grimm. Shafir's just match up with a kick, some as her and Nyla Rose jack each other. As you know, over the last few weeks, if you've been catching with Dark Elevation, Dark Beast of Burns and Figure have been having some issues. Shafir with some Gator Rose, but Lilith Grimm fights up, hits a shoulder block. Shafir with a judo throw, but Grimm gets a rope break, hits Shafir with a kick, spine buster, and then the greedy to get the submission win in 1 minute 49 seconds. So the fifth match, Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, goes against Gypsy Mac. This is a non-title match. Mac tries to go for a top wrist walk, but Athena just nails her with an elbow, then stops some more elbows. Mac gets hit with a knee. Athena sends Mac hit first on the post. Athena does a count out, but Mac gets back to her and hits a roll up. Only got a 1 count. Mac with some elbows, but Athena cuts over the knee. They rolls for a sunset flip. He tried to go for another elbow, but Athena with a shotgun drop kick, then a gore bust from the head kick, followed by super kick, then walks in the crossface and gets the submission win in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Not a bad match there. So after the match, sorry, before we get to the next match, Athena slams on the floor and then nails it with the Ring of Honor Women's title. 6 match trios action is the Dark Order. That's the remaining members. That's John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Evil Uno. Goes against Chaos Project. That is Luther and Serpentico, and the Wingman's Ryan Nemeth. Reynolds and Nemeth starts the match off. He hits a mat return that then swings his hips. Reynolds has a drop kick, sets him in the corner. That Luther gets the tag. Serpentico gets taken, and they cheap shot Silver and Uno. Reynolds tosses Nemeth, and then Luther squashes Serpentico. Dark Order fires up and hits Serpentico with a triple team facebuster. Evil Uno gets in the match, chops on Serpentico for a bit. Serpentico does try to chop Uno, but that goes really bad for him. Uno gets tripped up. Serpentico super kicks him. And then the Wingman and Chaos Project all stomp on the outside. Nemeth gets to take back in. And then makes a take to Luther. Luther with a suplex and takes in Serpentico, and he scoop slams him on the Uno. Nemeth takes in Serpentico, tries to suplex on the Uno, but can't lift him, so Luther does it for him instead. That got a 2 count. Uno makes a comeback, but Nemeth pokes him in the eye. Uno returns with his own eye poke, then hits a cutter that sends both men down. They go in the wrong corners, but they switch out and make the tag out. John Silver and Serpentico go legal in the match. He hits a pump kick and then a bridging suplex for a 2 count as Nemeth and Luther come to break it up. In the match, Serpentico gets hit with the Ragnarok for the win. Gets the win in 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Fun little trios match there. The 7th match, House of Black's Julia Hart goes against Leva Bates. This was a squash. Julia Hart stares her down. Leva Bates tries to offer her book of the Demon Slayer, but Julia Hart just looked utterly disdain. She flame plates her and then walks in the Heartless for the quick submission win in 52 seconds. Match number 8, the normal contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal goes against Justin Andrews and Ryzen. They jump them at the bell. Lethal slams Andrews around ringside as Jeff Jarrett does his stride around the ring. In the ring, Jarrett hits a clothesline, takes in Lethal. He hits a swinging nightbreaker. Ryzen fights back, but misses a moonsault. Jarrett gets taken back, hits a Russian leg sweep, followed by stomps, takes in Lethal. Lethal struts and stomps, goes for the figure four, but Ryzen counter and takes out to Justin Andrews. Andrews gets him some kicks and punches in, but Jarrett gets before he gets a super kick to the back of the head by Lethal. Then the end of the match was Jarrett and Lethal hit the Lethal Injection Stroke combo to get the win in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. A little getting some momentum ahead of their World Tag Team title match on Wednesday. After the match, Ryzen comes in, tries to do a showboat, but showboat with Jarrett, but Saddam Hussein just lays him out with a choke slam. In our 9th and final match, the main event of Dark Elevation, the House of Black, that's Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King. Good as Hagen and Chino, Dean Alexander, and Rosado Grillo. King and Chino starts it off. King just tosses him around, but Chino comes back with a kick. They get shoved away. Malachi Black King chops him down and takes him Malachi Black. Black tries to go for a kick, runs the knee before Chino takes him Rosado Grillo. Black hits a leg sweep. Buddy Matthews takes in. He hits a double stomp and then a boot to Dean Alexander, knocks him off the apron. Matthews with some art attacks, followed by a pop-up knee strike. Brody King gets tagged back, hits a cannonball out, senton in the corner, goes for the cover, but Alexander and Zeno breaks up the cover. King runs front, lays out Chino and Alexander. Grillo avoids the charge, but then Brody King poses himself. Hagen, Chino, and Malachi Black both get tagged back in. Chino comes with various strikes. Then Icy moves up to the floor, takes out Matthews and King. Hits a dive on Malachi Black. Hits a dropkick back at a 2 count. They go back and forth with some elbows before Black hits a spinning back elbow and a wheel kick. Brody lays him out with a King Kong lariat. He tries to go for the Gonzo bomb, but Dean Alexander makes a save, but Malachi Black tags him out with a black mass. Grillo tries to go, gets knocked out by King with a punch, and then Buddy Matthews gets the tag and gets the win at 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That was a fun little main event for Dark Elevation. So that was Dark from January 2nd. And that Dark Elevation was from Broomfield, Colorado there. Now we're going to pass Tuesday's Dark, January 3rd, from Orlando, Florida. They're at Universal Studios. So the first match, Christopher Daniels was one with Brian Pillman Jr. They lock up, exchange submissions. Before Pillman Jr. hits a scoop slam, Daniels comes back with a draw kick, then delivers a right hand. Hits a kick to his spine, sends a face first to the top turnbuckle. Hits a crossbody. Daniels with a back heel trip, then a gutbuster and a bunch of elbows. Pillman Jr. returns the favor, but Daniels hits a shoulder to his midsection, followed by an elbow drop. He throws him in the corner, goes for a cover with a 2 count. Before Daniels hits him in the spine with an elbow. Pillman Jr. makes a comeback, hits a side suplex, then a running lariat, followed by a Northern Light suplex. They go back and forth with the chops, hits a back body drop, followed by a thrust kick lariat combo. He tries to go for a swanton bomb, but Daniels moves out of the way, hits a choke slam, followed by the best moonsault ever to get the win in 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Fun little opener for Dark there. I give this one a match about 6 out of 10. We go backstage. Lexi Neer is with Wingman's Ryan Nemeth. He reminds him of Ryan, everyone, that there's only one of him tonight, and thanks team for helping live his dream, but he assumes he will win. Second match, Emery Sakura goes well with Jada Stone. Stone hits a bunch of forms of Sakura. Sakura grabs her hair and hits a chop and has a cup of tea. Hits a super kick stomp, locks in the Romero special. Stone comes back with double knees, but Sakura does the "we will chop you." She falls over the crossbody butt-fight backbreaker and then a moonsault to get the win in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Then we go backstage. Lexi Neer is with Pride Bill Jr. and the Andersons, Brock and Aaron. Lexi said Aaron requested the time to discuss his son's Brock's match last week with Matt Menard. He tells Pillman Jr. not thinking he lets Bills after losing to Christopher Daniels and saw a spark between the two of them as a team. So he's trying to do something beneficial. All of them ask what they think. Pillman Jr. said he lost everything he's worked for. He's lost. He said he knows Aaron has a strong story history with his father, Brian Pillman Sr. So he calls him that favorite out. Aaron says they're going to give this a try. They have teamed up on the indie stuff, so it would be cool seeing this on it's Dark and TV as well. Our third match, the Wingman's Ryan Nemeth goes one with Dak Draper. Nemeth goes right after the knee early in the goings of the match. Hits a big boot eye rake. He plans, but Draper comes up with fire elbows from the middle rope before Ryan Nemeth, I don't know where to get that from. I mixed his finisher. He hits the hunk of love. That's pretty much the Rude Awakening to get the quick win in a minute 40 seconds. That was the third match. Fourth match, Christian goes on with Sean Mawuda. Another lock-up, exchange submissions before Sean hits a back elbow. Blake Christian comes back with a draw kick. It sends him in the corner, hits an elbow, and then does a dive to the outside, sends it back in the ring. But Sean Mawuda comes back, sends Christian face first on the top rope, hits a running knee and a kick to the back. They go back and forth. Christian with a twisting bulldog, starts a flip in the corner, followed by diving knee strike. Hits a half and half suplex. He tries to go to the top up, misses. Moolah rolls to the outside, so Christian falls in there. Hits a cutter, followed by a 450 splash to get the win in 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Fun little match there between Blake Christian and Sean Mawuda. Before the next match, Ari Daivari gets a mic. He has proposition for Leon Ruffin. He says if he lays him down, he becomes a member of the Trustbusters. Ruffin knees down and mock him and says he kneels for no one. So that our match number 5, we get that match. Ari Daivari goes against Leon Ruffin. They lock up. Daivari gets in the face of Ruffin. He exchanges submissions, hits Ruffin with a draw kick. Daivari rolls out of the ring, hits a cannonball on the and throws it back aside. GFK distracts him while Daivari deliver an elbow, throw him into the stage, throws him in the ring. Ruffin hits a back elbow, so right kick to the face, followed by lariat, then a cutter off the ropes. The trespassers Slim J, GFK, and Sonny Kiss distract him. Love Davari hit a thrust kick and a hammer lock lariat to get the win in 4 minutes and 52 seconds. After the match, the Trustbusters beat down Ruffin before AR Fox and Blake Christian make the save with chairs in their hands. We'll probably get that Trios match probably in the next few weeks on Dark. Match number 6, where Rohit Raju goes on with Richard Adonis. A little back and forth action there. Hits his Raju with a series of kicks. Hits a right hand to his back, but Adonis comes back on the suplex. Followed by a thrust kick, but Raju with a jumping knee strike, followed by boot in the corner cannonball. Goes to the top, hits a double knees for the win in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. 7th match, Joel goes along with Jared Diaz. Joel shoves him into the corner, charges out, and Diaz gets away, hits a kick to the midsection, but George knows up fires by with delayed vertical suplex, hits a right hand, and then Diaz catches him with barricades. He tries to go for a high flying move, but Joel catches him with a big boot for the quick win in a minute 52 seconds. It's the 8th match. We got the Dark Orders, John Silver and Alex Rouse goes against Lil X, that is X-Ton Ray and Bland Loco. Silver and Ray walk up they go back for some submission exchanges. Silver hits a short tackle, then a draw kick takes in Reynolds. Reynolds hits an uppercut kick and then followed by a big boot in the corner. Blanco Loco gets tagged in and hits a right hand across Reynolds' neck. Reynolds was able to get back with a back elbow double stomp. Hits a clothesline to him. Silver gets in the ring, hits it into Gary. Reynolds followed with a stunner, and Silver hits a German suplex for the win in 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Match number 9, varsity athletes, that's Josh Woods and Tony Nese. They go one-on-one with the Sulk, that is Adrian Alanis and Liam Gray. Liam Gray hits an arm drag. Josh Woods hits a suplex, takes in Tony Nese. Nese takes control of Liam Gray, takes back in Woods, hits a jumping knee with basically for a good taking back and forth and moves. Nese sends Gray into the corner and flexes. Adrian Lance takes and hits a clothesline. He falls out with a boot as Nese makes a blind tag to Josh Woods. Woods hits the back elbow followed by a suplex, and they hit the 1RM, that's the suplex angle slam neckbreaker combo to get the win in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Match number 10, we got Kiera Hogan go on with Casey Lennox. They walk up before Lennox hits a back elbow. Hogan fires back with a drop kick and a hip attack, sliding drop kick, and then a side suplex for the quick win in 50 seconds. This was actually the shortest match of the whole night, as we had here on Dark 13 matches to get through, so I can see why it was that short. Match number 11, more tag team action. This one is the Trustbusters, Sonny Kiss, and Slim J and Sonny Kiss goes against Cameron Stewart and Ryzen. Cameron Stewart rolls up Sonny Kiss. Kiss hits a knee, sends Stewart in the corner. They deliver an elbow, but Stewart comes back and takes a Ryzen. Ryzen hits a Norlight suplex. Sonny Kiss short out and takes a Slim J. Slim J sends Ryzen face for the top turnbuckle. System in the corner go fine. Kiss delivers kicks, followed by handspring right hand for Ryzen hits a big boot. As soon as Cameron Stewart gets tagged back, Sonny Kiss nails a forearm. Trustbusters hit assisted neckbreaker to Ryzen. Slim J goes to the top and hits a diving reverse DT before Sonny Kiss hits the 450 to just get the victory in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Match number 12. Captain Sean Dean goes along with Ariel Dominguez. They suffer a lock-up. They trade submissions. Sean Dean hits a drop kick. Dominguez fires out with a kick to Dean's head. Dean hit before he hits a German suplex, followed by a drop kick, and hits a frog splash for the quick win in a minute 42 seconds. And this match was, I know it was only a minute 4, but it was kind of hard to get through, a lot of botches and sloppiness at times. But it was good to see Sean Dean there. In our 13th and final match of Dark, Top Flights, Darius Martin, Dante Martin goes against the Workhorsemen, that is Anthony Henry and JD Drake. Darius and Anthony Henry Loco kick the match off before he gets in the corner. Dante gets tagged, hits a splash, and Henry to the outside. They try to go for a high-risk move, but Workhorsemen get out of the way, hit a double draw kick. Dante gets tagged back, hits a snapmare, followed kick to the back. They take control before Anthony Henry hits a neck crank and tags in JD Drake. JD Drake hits a chop and then an uppercut, followed by a hip butt. Dante gets back in. They go back and forth with some action. Darius hits a crossbar off the top rope. Wants him and DJ get back in the ring. He falls with a Spanish fly before Dante and Henry tag back in. Dante with a shotgun draw kick. Darius gets tagged back, hit a flatline for the bottom rope. That was a cool spot. Hits a form. Anthony Henry. He picks up Anthony Henry on his shoulders. Dante climbs the second rope, but Henry escapes and plants Darius to the mat before Jay Drake gets back in the match. Hits a kick to the back of the head, followed by a flipping senton. Anthony Henry takes back in. They Workhorsemen try to do a double team move, but Darius sends Drake to the apron. Dante takes in. They connect with a rocket launch draw kick, followed by the red eye. Sorry, my apologies. Forgot what the name was called for a second there. The red eye. That's pretty much the double nosedive for the win in 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Fun little main event there. Out of these 13 matches, the only three I recommend go to is the opening match between Daniels and Brian Pillman Jr., Christian and Sean Malura. Five. That one, and the main event. That's the only 5 I go check out on this week's Dark. So that was Dark from January 3rd. And now we go to our first Dynamite of 2023. So the opening match was Ricky Starks goes one with Chris Jericho. Jericho takes down Starks to start a match and play with the crowd. Slap exchange between both of them before Jericho tries to escape to go to the ringside area. Once they get back inside, Jericho gets to control before Ricky Starks was doing the old school. That only got a 2 count. Angel Parker trips Starks on the apron before they bound in with Jericho Jericho hitting Starks with a suplex on the floor. Ouch. That actually looked really painful. That takes us to a commercial break. Excuse me. We come back. Starks hits a Liger bomb for a 2 count. Jericho tries to go back with a Lionsault, but Starks counters it. He goes to the middle rope, misses a moonsault. Starks blocks a codebreaker, hits a super kick, but Jericho kicks out at 2. Jericho dodges splash in the corner, connects with a codebreaker. Starks blocks the Judas Effects, try to go for Ramba and Show, but Jericho counters it into the walls of Jericho. Parker gets on the apron, distracts the referee Aubrey Edwards. Matt Menard grabs Floyd the baseball bat and knocks Starks out with the bat. We do the 3-arm spot, but by the third time, Starks powers up, fights his way out. He rolls up Jericho for a 2 count. Comes back with a DT, knocks Parker Menard off the apron, then hits the spear to get the win in 12 minutes and 36 seconds. This match, I give 7 out of 10. Excellent match to kick off the first Dynamite of 2023. And Jericho this is his 3rd loss, I believe. Yes, 3rd loss in a row. Fun little match. I recommend going checking this out. After the match, the rest of JS is Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia come out and attack Starks before Action Andrade comes out with a chair, takes out everybody before he could take Jake Hager out. Tay Mello and Anna Jay come out. Anna Jay takes a chair from Andrade. Mello low blows him. JS attacks him and Starks. They set a table on the outside, and then Jake Hager with a powerbomb off the apron to Starks for the table to close out that segment. I did laugh when Jake Hager made fun of Ricky Starks' pose. I gotta admit, I'm not a big Jake Hager fan, but that was pretty funny. So next up, we got Tony Schiavone. He's in the ring. He introduces Hangman Page. Schiavone brings up how Moxley has challenged Page to a match next week at the Forum. As an update on his condition, Page said as of today, he was not medically clear to complete. He's been told that if he comes out in the fight, it's going to set him back 1 more week, and that's not what he wants. He said he'll take a red eye. If his brain scan comes back, he will be clear, which Doc Samson did agree to. Then he said something about, he says he's going to kick Moxley's private area in the dirt. I'm going to keep it PG here. That promotes Moxley to come out. Moxley and Page go face to face. Page is trying to hold back from getting physical. Moxley says he's surprised that Page even showed him tonight. Everything's been through, and he's getting sick of the stream for Page. So I'm in Canada, so I got TSN, so I could hear Moxley perfectly, but the crowd in Seattle said they couldn't hear him. But they probably got things on track there. Moxley did drop a couple F-bombs. He said he's tired of Hangman Page playing the victim. Page is angry how Moxley didn't let Page get a win before he made a joke about nearly taking his career away. And he thinks he knows why. Page says at that moment Moxley felt threatened. And he probably thinks Page was there for lunch, which he isn't, but he is now. He says he's got 2 left in the chamber from Moxley with Moxley's name on, and he'll get them at the Forum. Moxley said his only joke he thinks that's funny is Page thinks next time it'll be a difference. His little punk ass doesn't belong in the ring, and then next week he'll make sure Page doesn't get backup. I actually can't wait to see that match next week. Excellent promo between those two men there. Then we get a field package from the TNT Champ Samoa in the Ring of Honor TV Champ Samoa Joe. Tell a story about the little Darby Allin who wants the TNT title back, but Joe has bigger dragons to slay till the dead boys start to come back. But Allin will pay the price. We will see that title match in the main event. Speaking of title matches, our second match, we got the Acclaimed defend the World Tag Team titles against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Bowens and Jarrett starts the match off, but Jarrett tries to go after Max Caster with a cheap shot. Jay Lethal gets taken. They trade chops before Anthony Bowens hits the guillotine leg drop before taking Max Caster. They double team Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. They hit the scissors to meat tender. Lethal, and then before all that, they claim Billy Gunn go for triple scissoring. Lethal slaps Billy Gunn, which Gunn tries to go after Lethal, but the referee ejects him. That's just a break. We come back. Lethal is in control of Andy Bowens. That's the fans that are just booing Jeff Jarrett. Lethal trying to go for Hail of the King. That's the top row elbow, but Bowens gets out of the way. Jarrett tags and goes after Bowens before he can take out the Caster. But Bowens is able to fight him off, and Caster finally gets the hot tag. Hits a diving crossbody. They got 2 count as Jarrett broke it up. Jeff Jarrett knocks Caster off the top rope before Jarrett and Lethal hit some double team moves on Anthony Bowens. Lethal locks him in the figure 4 as Saddam Singh throws Caster into the steel steps. The referee, Stephon Smith, catches it and sends Saddam Singh to the back as he calls for the rest of the refs to come out and check him and Sanjay Dutt. Bowens blocks the lethal injection, but Jarrett hits him with the stroke. As they went for the bit, Bowens' foot was originally on the bottom of the pushed him off, so the referee counts for 3. So we think Jarrett and Lethal have won the AEW World Tag Team titles. But no, Aubrey Edwards comes out and tells Stephon Smith what happened, so they announce the match will be restarted. We got a dusty finish here. Lethal tries to pin Owens with his feet on the ropes, but Caster pushes him, and Bowens refuses to get the win. So the Acclaim retain the World Tag titles. And all the total time was 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Fun little match, and we will see this match tonight at Battle of the Belts, which I'll run down the run after this review. We get backstage. Tony Schiavone is with Britt Baker and the Women's Champion Jamie Hayter. They asked for the question who's as tag title will be next week. Baker and Hayter said the big question is will Saraya get it as they're both homegrown talent and Saraya would never get it. They also mentioned how they work up for a rocky beginning. Doesn't know how Saraya picks Tony as their partner. Baker said he hasn't on shows the boss and Hayter is the killer. Before that, Britt Baker also said she was the pillar. And they got some shirts on AEW shopaew.com. So it looks like they're going by the killer and the pillar, which is actually kind of, I'm not going to admit that. I am going to admit that it's actually kind of a cool tag name. We go somewhere else backstage. We see Jungle Boy Jack Perry say he's broke too soon on not having anybody catch on. So he's just in his home next week in his hometown of LA. He's got to deal with Hook to face Big Bill and Lee Morari of the Firm. The third match, Bryan Danielson, the hometown boy, goes, well, he's from IRD, but home state boy goes one with Tony Nese from the Varsity Athletes. Josh Woods tries to go right away, but Tony Nese takes control. Bryan Nese in the corner for a 2 count, but Danielson turns it around, starts chopping, kicks Nese, followed by some elbow strikes, followed by some yes kicks, but Nese was blocking the last one. He hits a powerbomb in the corner. Danielson dodges another running Nese, hits it up by Psycho New of his own. He started stomping on Nese's face and then walks in the Regal stretch to get the submission win in 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Quick little squash there from Bryan Danielson. After the match, Bryan Danielson gets on the mic and says he feels good to be home. He feels a little froggy, so he's ready for another fight. He calls out the AEW World Champ MJF. He comes out and he calls Danielson brain damaged Bryan. And he says no about his challenge. He doesn't care about entertaining these schmucks in Seattle and calls Danielson a mark. MJ also, no matter what, he gets paid. He's a special attraction. He said he's listening to Danielson talk. He said Lance Storm and Dean Malenko were able to create draw. It was born as him. MJF continues how about Danielson is a goat. Shouldn't call him Dico. Makes a joke about Danielson's mom possibly not finding a human suitor to create him. That line, correct. I couldn't stop laughing at that one. But Bryan Danielson comes back. MJF's mom has had many human suitors and asking the crowd, has anyone been with the mom? And which upsets MJF. So MJF says, who died to make Danielson the king of wrestling? Says whoever it is, they aren't athletes. unlike Danielson and JF has been called the best in the world by people who have actually been in the business, like Disco Inferno, Eric Bischoff, and Jim Cornette. Danielson continues to say he hates MJF, takes time to fight. MJF's back, so he comes up for a favor for Danielson. Since if Danielson wants a shot at the AEW World Title, he has to come to a contender. So he had a conversation with Tony Khan, who said if Danielson wins every week from now until February 8th, he'll come down there for the AEW World Title. He said he'll give him the shot at Revolution on March 5th. Daniel said he doesn't want to do that MJF's way, so MJF threatens to use his lawyer, Mark Sterling, before Danielson said Sterling was the worst warrior for agreeing stipulation as MJF gets, as long as MJF agrees to the match stipulation at Revolution, which he announced it would be a 60-minute Iron Man match. MJF gets mad at the Maxi Pad chant and agrees and said Danielson is a choke artist. Danielson says he's going to run for every single opponent put in front of him, and at Revolution he will expose MJF that he doesn't have the cardio and the footwork, and that's the reason he's not good enough. He says he's got to nail the coffin and kick MJF's head in. What a promo between these two guys. I can't believe. We all know the match is going to be happening, but like MJF said, Danielson has to win between now and February 8th. And I will start next week, and I'll do the rundown after this review. Fourth match, Short Strickland, Seattle's own, goes on with AR Fox, Lucha Underground. Again, as it was Killshot against Dante Fox. Strickland and Fox try to outperform each other around a face-off on the stage before Mogul affiliates get in their face. And for AR Fox hits a moonsault before taking Sword back inside the ring, hits a brain buster for a 2 count. Tattoo face man distracts him, gives Strickland enough time to hit a boot from the apron as we go to commercial. We come back, Strickland hits Fox for a flatliner for a 2 count. He places Fox on top of it, but Fox gets out of the way and flips off Strickland, hits him with a cutter, boot in the corner, followed by another cutter. Hits it 450 off the top rope, that only got a 2 count. Tattoo face man distracts the referee. Parker Boudreaux hands Strickland something, I couldn't see what it was. Hits Fox with it, hits a Death Valley driver from on the ropes to the apron, followed by a swerve stomp to get the win. In 9 minutes and 10 seconds, we see Renee Paquette's backstage with Saraya, Tony Storm, and Hikaru Shida. As a reaction from Baker and Hayter before, Saraya said they are trying to fence the women's division, as Storm said she got her face fractured from them. It's not cool. Paquette asked Saraya how her mystery partner said she's in next to best professional world before Storm as her partner. Shida folks as the match is official. I don't blame Shida for being mad. I would have been too. That was almost like a heel turn there. We got the Guns coming out with FTR, how they lost their Ring of Honor World Tag Titles, AAA Tag Titles, and the IWGP Tag Titles, and started a podcast that nobody listens to and asked the crowd to stand on the lazy at FTR. In a moment of silence, FTR's music hits before the Guns start laughing. And said FTR can work for any promotion, and they will not work for AEW again. I didn't like this segment at all. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest with you. Fifth match, the Baddies has TBS champion Jake Gargill and Red Velvet goes against Kiera Hogan and Sky Blue. Excuse me, Velvet and Blue start the match up by trading pin attempts for Kiera Hogan takes and hits a leg drop and belt for a 2 count for taking Blue back in. She stays in control where Jake Cargo takes her in as we go pitcher and pitcher. We come back, Cargo hits the Eye of the Storm and Hogan for a 2 count. She picks up Hogan, gets at Velvet's face, tell her that's how you do it, for gently taking her in. Hogan takes control of Velvet, so Cargo takes herself back in, takes out both of them from the apron. Jay chokeslams Hogan, tells her to get in her and whoop her butt but as she was going to tag her, she gets off the apron. She dodges Kiera Hogan's move, hits her with a pump kick to get the win in 6 minutes, 49 seconds. Not a bad match, but we're seeing more storyline as Velvet's trying to leave the Baddies. Tensions are rising. In the 6th and final match, the main event, TNT title on the line, Samoa Joe defends against Darby Allin. Samoa Joe comes out, he's trying to choke Nick Wayne, which promotes Darby Allin to take a dive on the Joe. Top of the stage, Allin grabs a ladder and hits a swanton on the Joe as Joe is standing. Darby Allin drags Joe into the ring as the match officially starts, but Samoa Joe grabs and slams him to the ring steps as we go to a break. We come back, Joe's in control. The CL crowd's trying to inspire Darby Allin to get up, but Joe cross legs and drives him down. Joe's still in control, puts him single leg crab, but Darby Allin grabs the bottom rope Joe sets him for the muscle buster, but Darby Allin slides out. Allen tries to German suplex Joe, but he pulls the cornerback along with it. They go back for it until Joe puts a sleeper hold, but Allen's able to fight out, tosses Joe into both turnbuckle, hits a code red, and a coffin drop, followed by Nolan to score the win in 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Fun little main event there. After the match, Fede comes to celebration, and Sting embraces with Darby Allin. So that is the way to end this week's Dynamite. Fun, little, great episode to kick off 2023. So tonight's Rampage, we got tag team match in Top Flight goes against Blackpool Combat. The Killer and the Pillar, that's Women's Champion Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker against the Renegade Twins, Robin and Charlotte. Pero Peroso, that's aka formerly known as Preston Vance, is in action. And we also got Darby Allin will defend the TNT title against Mike Bennett. Also tonight, right after Rampage, is Battle of the Belts 5. Orange Cassidy defends the All-Elite title against Cape Sibian. The Acclaim goes against Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal for the World title in a rematch, this time under no holds barred rules. And Jake Gargano defends the TBS title against Sky Blue. Then this Monday on Dark Elevation, spoiler alert, here are the matches. 11 matches to Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett goes against the Bollywood Boys, Groove and Harashira. 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champs, Brian Cage goes against Schaff. Trios action as the House of Black, that's Brody King, Buddy Mouse, Malachi Black goes against the Wingmans, Peter Avalon, Ryan Nemeth, and Trustbusters, Ari Daivari. Non-title matches, Ring of Honor World Champ Claudio Castagnoli goes against Josh Woods. Powerhouse Hobbs goes against Vinny Pacifico. Beast of Burns, Maria Shavir, and Nala Rose goes against Amira and Dinka Della Rouge. The firm's Ethan Page, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy goes against Cody Chung. Guerrero Rosas at C4 and Sonigo and Trios action. Ring of Honor Women's Champion, Athea goes against Vivian Vane in a title match. Midnight Heat, that is Eddie Pro and Ricky Gibson, go against Eddie Kingston Ortiz in tag team action. Bandito goes along with Christopher Daniels. And Best Friends, that is Trent Burrow and Chuck Taylor, goes against Chaos Project, that's Luther Francisco. And next week's Dynamite, we got our 7th and final match of the Best 7 series for the Trios title in a ladder match. Death Triangle defense against the Elite. Tag team action, it's the Killer and the Pillar goes against Soraya and Tony Storm. It's not going to be Tony Storm, it's going to be Mercedes Monet. Moxley goes along with Heyman. John Moxley goes along with Heyman Page. Tag team matches, the firms Big Bill and Lee Morinari goes against FTW, Chamber Hook, and Jungle Boy. Then Brian Danielson goes along with Konosuke Takeshita. That card looked pretty good. So that is the EW Weekly Wrap-Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.